these aren't just for political leaders, it's for you guys. If you have a great idea that you think will help beautify Kinsman or help with the cleanup effort or go towards recycling, fill out one of our grants and we are giving out the money to have these projects put into place. So I think it's kind of cool because most of the time grants aren't offered for normal people like me and you. You know, it's somebody else in charge. So it's kind of cool, like for Boy Scouts or really anybody. We do have another community grant for political leaders, which I was kind of talking about, to help them with their recycle bin area. So if they don't have cameras, or if they need new cement laid down because it's getting too rough because of the trucks. Trucks are heavy, they're going to tear it up. We do offer those. Let's see. I've had so much going on. Probably the last thing, which I am raffling off today. I hope I got everybody's name. If you didn't fill one out, I'll give you one. It's a compost bin. So when you think about your garbage, you know, your daily habits of what you do, what are you putting in there? You know, you're putting a lot of food in there. The fruits and vegetables are things that should never, along with electronics, just never go to a landfill. It doesn't make sense. When you compost your natural foods, they'll break down in about 6 months, and it goes back to soil that you can use, which makes the soil nutrient, and it can better the next plant that grows in it. When you throw your food scraps away, and they go in the trash, and they go to the landfill, do you know how long it takes that food to break down? Take a guess. 6 months if it's in compost. How long would it take in a landfill?
Probably 3 or 4 years.
Longer.
Because there's no air and
There's
no
no
water.
So it's going to be about 600 years minimum for that food product to break down. And part of the problem is because it's called anoxic. There's no oxygen, it can't break down. But if food breaks down in a landfill, are you going to reuse that dirt for anything?
No.
No, that dirt's never leaving that landfill. So our food wastes, above all else, you know, because that's where we get our nutrients from, is these plants, these fruits and vegetables in the soil, should never ever go into a landfill. It should always be composted. So we do sell compost bins, but you don't have to use our bins. You can compost whatever works for you. There's little backyard things that you can do if you live in a city, or big, huge things where people just put piles. We have this one at our facility, and I set it up last summer, and I put it outside of my office window so I can keep an eye on it to just kind of see how this one works, because I had our old compost bin that our district sold years ago. I have 2 of those. But so this one was a little new and I wasn't sure. But we put our food scraps in there. I yell at everybody at work, you know, when you're done eating, you know, your banana peels, everything, put it in here. We have, I think we work in a Disney movie. There's deer and squirrels and everything where I work. But they never bother this compost bin, which is kind of cool. They just leave it alone. So we sell these for $35. We bought them for $90-some, but we sell them for cheaper because we just want people to learn about composting. On the back of this flyer, it tells you what to put in there. They want like a mix of 50% greens, 50% browns. So what that means is fruits and vegetables, those are your greens. Your browns are going to be your grass clippings, your leaves, your twigs, those kinds of things. So, any questions about composting? Does anybody compost currently?
We do it right in the garden.
Yeah, that's perfect. You know, as long as those vegetables and fruits can get back to the earth, not in a landfill situation, that's the best thing. So no matter how you're doing it, so long as it's keeping trustees happy and, you know, your neighbor happy, do it. You know. What were you going to say?
We have so many animals that are wild that I put my stuff out and it just disappears.
They just disappear?
Yeah.
Well, it's getting back to the system eventually.
Yeah.
But with animals, that is a concern with some neighbors. So that is one of the things that other neighbors get, you know, kind of upset about if there's too many animals. That's why the compost bins are good, you know, so it'll contain it and kind of keep it.
Yeah, we're kind of out in the country.
Our neighbor's
Oh, okay.
about 3/4 of a mile away,
Oh, okay. I live in a pretty close, tight, where all my neighbors are right there. So we have to use a compost bin to keep it contained and keep the neighbors happy. But if you do the composting, if you do the household hazardous waste disposal, meaning your electronics, your household chemicals, really the only thing you should be throwing away is, I don't even know, Barbie dolls? You know, there really isn't much that should be going out to your trash, because we pretty much accept
Well,
everything.
what we do,
Animal products, we don't accept
our
those.
son has a setup at his shop,
Uh-huh.
and we go down here maybe once every 6 months with a half a garbage can for
Okay.
the stuff that absolutely cannot be recycled.
Yeah, it's, 75% should be recycled or composted. The other 25% will be the actual garbage. Your plastic films that come on packaging, those can be recycled at Giant Eagle as well. So look on their bin to see which ones they accept and don't accept, but most of your films, yes.
So unfortunately, when you have trash pickup at your house, they're gonna charge you every month for the container that you set out there. So what's the savings if we only put one bag in it?
Well,
And they just raised it.
there are multiple haulers, so that is the benefit, that you can shop around to find a hauler. But I think the savings is more for, the bigger picture, the long run of what you're making the community be as a whole for everybody else. So it's like, almost like a good neighbor kind of thing. I think that's where the biggest savings is for. My kids are growing up here. I want to give them something good to have and their kids. And I think this is our responsibility to do that. So, but I would call it garbage hauler and see, because there are some that do, it's a bag. So you buy a bag, the bag's kind of expensive, but you just fill the bag and you're only charged for that bag. And that's it. I don't know which haulers offhand. I would have to talk to my boss, Jen, but we do offer that in Trumbull County, some of the haulers. And it's mostly single people or elderly people that use the bag service. I want to say the bag's like $8 or something. Like,
Yeah,
it's more than you'd ever spend on a bag, but really that's all you're paying for is garbage, is that. Just for them to take that one bag. Let's see, what do you think? I think that's it. Does anyone have any questions? Yes?
The magazines with the binding, is that all right?
Yes, they're fine. The only thing we don't want is the books. So like
I've
textbooks.
been taking the staples out
Oh,
of the ones that way.
yeah, they have not complained about those, and they say all magazines are okay. So the recycling rules are subject to change. It's what I was telling them earlier. It's like a commodity, like gold or silver. If you don't have somebody buying it, it's going to change the price. So the higher quality of recyclable materials we put in our recycle bins without contamination, the more there's going to be buyers at the other end buying it. We're not the buyers at the end. We rely on businesses to buy it. So the better product we give them, the more we can recycle better. What were you going to say?
you're just a middleman.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, that's what you amount to.
Yeah.
In other words, you collect it and then sell it to somebody else.
Yep. Yep. Yes.
Okay, like the cups that you gave us, it says A12, but then it's got the arrows going around.
Oh, okay.
So what does that mean?
I don't know about the A. So she's pointing out the recycle symbol on the bottom. I don't know what the A means or the 12.
Okay, but it's got those arrows.
But whenever you see this recycle symbol, just because it has this on it, it doesn't necessarily mean it's made from recyclable material or that it's recyclable within our facility. It's just a symbol that Dow chemical, like all the chemical companies use to say, this is the kind of plastic it is. And there's all different kinds of plastic, like harder plastic like this, which should be a 1. Is it a 1? Oh, it's a 5. So 1, 2s, and 5s are the harder plastics. The 3s, 4s, 6s are like your films and soft. Well, I think the 7s are like the kids' play material. Real heavy duty.
But that
stuff.
cup's recyclable with you?
No, because it's not a bottle shape.
Okay.
So
Oh.
these are our old ones that we just had a bunch of, and I want a picture.